Hi guys, want to welcome you back. Thanks for subscribing and liking the videos. I'm going to keep doing this. Every week I'm making videos, and I've fallen behind a little bit this last week simply because I've been transitioning. About 3 weeks ago now, I accepted a new job in South Korea. And so from 2013 to 2016, I actually lived in South Korea and taught English there. And in 2016, the Lord called me back to attend a Bible college in Colorado. And so the last week I've been transitioning, moving. I'm back in Minnesota now just for a short period of time. And from here, I will be leaving next week, arriving in Korea around August 6th. So very excited. I'll be teaching high school at a private school there. Very excited to inspire and encourage young people in Korea. And basically what I'm doing on these videos, I'm going to be doing in the classroom. I'm going to be inspiring and encouraging, because I believe that in the classroom all around the world, we're teaching them to think closed-minded. We're not teaching them to fail and to ask questions. We're teaching them to be very good at essentially being what we call productive people in society. But really what we mean by those terms are people who are just conforming, that are not thinking big, that aren't trying to do something different, something outside of the mold. And so I'm really excited for that. But yeah, I just wanted to send a video, and that's what I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to talk about transition and expansion. And so we all have a calling, we all have desires. Those are not going to happen with faith alone. There's going to need to be action. And I actually sent a video, an email out last week about in James, I believe it was James 1:22, it talks about if you have faith but you're not doing something, if you're not taking action, it's pointless. I have faith that I'll be healthy, or I have faith that I'll be able to donate $1 million someday. Well, what are you doing to take steps? There needs to be, we are a supernatural being, absolutely, but we are in a physical world. We have a body, and we've been given this body to move around. Even Jesus, when he was on this earth, he had a relationship with the Father. He would always pray in the morning, he would spend time with the Father, and he only did what he saw the Father do. But at the same time, he had to walk around. He went all around the region of Galilee and Judea. And so it's the same for us. We have a physical body. There are physical things that need to take place, but it starts with a position of faith. I have faith in this, so therefore I'm going to do it. You know, faith is, we image it, we see it in our mind, we see it in our brain before we go do it. Just as athletes practice this all the time before they run a race or before they play a football game. Man, the quarterback's seen himself throwing a touchdown to the wide receiver. And it's the same for you and me. There has to be corresponding action with that faith. There's so many people today, Christians included. We're not perfect people. I'm not perfect. But Christians included, who have a lot of faith. I'm going to start this. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go do that. And then I see them taking no steps of faith, no steps of action to connect with people, to start figuring out what's the next step, trying to meet people, trying to get established in a region, in the country, in the world. They're taking no action, and that's a bad quality. They're not a bad person, but there needs to be that step of action. And I really truly believe when you start to take action, when you start to take steps towards that, things are going to happen. Yeah, there might be resistance, and there will be. But guess what? Anything worth going for that's in your heart, it's better to go for something in your heart and to fail going towards that desired outcome than rather just give up and just, again, be that good student that we all were in high school and college, get good grades and conform. No, it would be better to go towards what you've been called to. Take steps of action. You might fail, but guess what? When I was learning Korean, and I'm still learning, I'm still getting better at it, but when I was learning it, I noticed the people that spoke other languages, 2, 3, 4, even 5 languages, they were okay with making mistakes, because guess what? Those mistakes would lead to becoming better at the language. They would use those mistakes as not, I can't learn Spanish. I'm not good at Spanish. No, they would say, hey, I learned how to say this new word today. I made a mistake, I made an embarrassment, but guess what? I now remember that word I need to use in the next time. And so it's the same thing with life, with our everyday. Man, you get up, you make a mistake, but guess what? You learn from it and you go forward. And on the road towards where you're going, man, you're gonna have some failures, but guess what? Those failures aren't going to accumulate to be a true failure if you give up, unless you just keep saying, hey, I learned, I'm gonna get back up. It says in Proverbs, a righteous man falls 7 times, but he'll get back up. And so I believe if you're watching this video, hey, you might have fallen a few times. Guess what? We all have, and we're gonna again tomorrow. But guess what? The difference between a successful person in this world and an unsuccessful person or quitter is that the successful person gets up and keeps going forward. Keeps going forward every day. They like to say, I've noticed in a lot of successful people, they show up. Yep, they show up at the meeting, they show up at the appointment, they show up to the interview, they show up, they're knocking on doors to sell their product, they're showing up, they're trying to start that ministry, you know, and they just keep showing up. The consistency, the drive to never give up. And I really think that transition is constant. We need to understand that being just content is good, but complacent is not. And so, you know, becoming better than we were yesterday because we learned from our mistakes yesterday. And so in this time of transition for myself, going back to Korea, I have a lot on my mind. I have a lot of things, you know, how is it going to work out? What's it going to be like over there again? It's going to be 100% different because this time around I know what to expect. And it should be easier, but I still have thoughts of a what if. But guess what? I know this time of stretching that the Lord is going to use me more and more. I'm going to become better at making videos, becoming better at speaking, become better at teaching. And so I'm looking at these things in a positive influence. I'm looking at, hey, I'm going to have the potential to connect with 20 million people in Seoul. Connecting with people is going to help reach more viewers on YouTube, more connections to start ministries or business ideas. I'm looking at these things in a good light, instead of saying, ooh, that's a new territory. I don't think I can handle that. Well, guess what? I can't handle that. Not alone. I can't do anything without God. I can't do anything without Him. And so I really believe that transition is good, and expansion, when you transition, when you move from thinking an old way to a new way, you're expanding your thinking, you're expanding your horizon. And so I just can't encourage you and myself enough to keep expanding in 2019, keep going, and keep expecting big things, because God has big things for you. You are highly favored, you're set apart, and remember that the world knows that you're a Christian, whether you want to hide it or not, or whether you want to be outright with it. Man, the world knows you're different. Use that difference to influence people. Use that difference to show people the freedom that they desire. Look, money, fame, the number of houses, airplanes, or whatever you desire, cars, that's not going to set you free. That's why when you get that new car and you get that scratch, or when you go to bed after you bought that car, you're not truly satisfied. Look, I'm not chasing after those things, and you shouldn't be either. But guess what? I'm also saying we need to wake up and think bigger every day. Because if we're just saying, hey, I'm happy with what I have, that's kind of being selfish, because it shouldn't be just about you and me. It should be about other people. Hey, I have an excess amount of money so I can take care of my family, which is my obligation and duty, but also so that I can bless and take care of the community around me. How good of a representation of Christ is that? The Good Samaritan, when he was on the road, we remember him, and he was written in the Bible because he had money. Money is not a bad thing. It doesn't talk to you. It doesn't provide for you. It's only a tool to expose the heart. Money is neither good or evil, but it exposes the heart. It's a magnifying glass of the heart. Now, good people, before they get money, guess what? They're going to use that money to magnify, and they're going to give, and it's going to be a magnification of their heart that they have a good heart. Evil people that have money, guess what? You're going to see them doing evil things, magnifying evil in this earth. And so I just think that we are all thinking too small, and it's mostly because of the way we've grown up. And even the middle class in America, I'm not saying it's not bad, but it's the one that gets squeezed the most. If you notice, the poor people and the very, very, very rich people, they're kind of not really changed. It's the middle class. And so I think we need to get rid of middle class thinking, middle class spending, buying the newest iPhone that comes out every year. We can't do that. Spending our energy on gossip, man, we gotta think bigger. And when you were a kid, you weren't gossiping. When you were a kid, you weren't thinking in limits of, I want to make this amount of money a year. No, you were thinking, I want to be the richest person. I want to help the most people. I want to take care of my family. I want to have a relationship with God. We were pure. We were not spotted by the earth. And so my life message, I believe, is to push myself and push you guys on the other end of this camera to the next level. I was talking to a friend yesterday and I said, I don't need a tombstone. I want people to remember me for pushing them to the next step, the next level that they have told me. I want to see my friends rise higher than me. I want to see my cousins, my family members around me rise higher than me. And so that's my heart behind these videos, is to see great things happen, because great things are going to happen in this world, and I want to be a part of it, and I want to be connected to people that are taking part in that. God is such a good God. He's given you desires and He's given you plans. Even before you were born, they were in place, they were implanted in you. And so I encourage you this week to stay encouraged daily. Put yourself in the Word of God. Man, see His truths. Don't watch CNN. You cannot watch CNN and Fox News all day and feel at peace. It's gonna steal from you. Whether or not you're gonna start gossiping, you're gonna start being worried. You have to put good in. You gotta watch what you put in these eye gates and these ear gates. You can't just watch dirty movies. You can't just watch news all day. You can't hear this stuff all day. You've got to change the environment that you're in and around. You got to start hanging out with people that are not gossiping. You got to start hanging out with people that are thinking bigger. I want to be the smallest fish in the biggest pond. I want to hang out with people that are making more than me, that are healthier than me, that are thinking bigger thoughts than me, man, so I can take advantage of that and grow with them. I don't want to be the kingpin in the room anymore. When I played golf in high school, when I played with the best group of golfers, way better than me, I played better that day. And when I played with a bunch of people that were subpar, not so good, guess what? I wasn't hitting so good either. It's the same thing for your daily life. Man, surround people that are going to bring you up, going to encourage you. The people that say they're your friends and say, hey, guess what? I don't think you should be thinking that big, or I don't think you should do that deal, or I don't think you should move to that city. They're probably not your friends, because your friend should be able to let you go to a different area or go to a different arena, so to speak, and they should be able to encourage you. The ones that want you to come on over and hang out and just, hey, we'll just chill out tonight. Let's just party. Let's just forget about it. Those aren't, I'm not saying you can't have friends that you have fun with, but just be careful. The people you hang out with really, really influence where you go. And so I hope this is kind of a compilation of stuff, but I really believe that if you want to go to the next level, there's going to be a transition. It's going to be uncomfortable maybe, but that's the only way to expansion. That's the only way to get to those dreams that God has called you to. And nothing is more satisfying and fulfilling than having a relationship with the Father, just like Jesus did. Through Him, through Jesus, that's how we have a relationship with the Father. There's nothing more comforting than going to bed at night and saying, today I blessed people, I loved people, I encouraged people. And I'm just excited for you guys. I know we still have 5 months left in 4 months almost. 4 months left in 2019, and so guys, keep going. You can't make the $1 million deals without doing the small little deals every day. You got to just stay focused, and you got to stay a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit of photo editing, a little bit of singing, whatever you're trying to do, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Every day, an ant, man, how does he build his anthill? He takes 1 grain of sand every day. He does it multiple times a day, and guess what? He has an ant mound. And so whatever mountain you're trying to build, just take a little bit here, a little bit there. Stay consistent, stay encouraged. And I'm excited for you guys. I'm excited, and I'm gonna keep making these videos. I'm gonna be in Korea, probably the next video you see, and so I look forward to seeing you there. I'll be taking you along for the ride. I'm excited. God bless you guys. There's so much more inside of you. I know I'm talking to some people, because guess what? I'm talking to myself right now. I know that I can't leave this life with things on the table, with work undone, with people's lives untouched. I gotta go for it. I gotta go all in. And so do you. God bless you guys.